Right guys, I'm doing a video on the go today, just saving a little bit of time. We've all got busy lives, you know how it is. Okay, today's video, I don't really know what to call it yet, just because it could on the surface seem like a little bit of a boring subject, but it's an important one, which is kind of, you know, when you have a disagreement or an argument with a person, how to kind of see the other side and how to understand the other person in the argument. I think that's really important, because we all have our views, and you know, if we don't have empathy for the other person, then we quite often lack the communication, and that's when we get fallings out and this and that. So the reason I'm kind of making this today is because recently I've seen some backwards and forwards with, might be sort of certain celebrities or people who are kind of slightly more well known, because these days people can go backwards and forwards on, you know, social media and stuff, and they can kind of say things about certain people. But the good thing about today is that we can all, you know, even the likes of me, you know, making my own videos for a channel, or people have podcasts and so on. People have the opportunity these days to kind of answer back or to give their side of the story. And when people have this kind of disagreement, you might listen to one side and you think, yeah, I understand that. I understand why they're feeling disrespected, or why they're feeling a little bit, you know, like they've been given a bit of an injustice. But then you listen to it and you agree with them, and then you then hear the other side not long after, and you kind of hear it from the other person's perspective, the same disagreement, and nearly always you can kind of then understand their side as well, and just realise where they're coming from. And that's, as an outsider, it's a lot easier as an outsider to kind of have that perspective. When you're involved in the disagreement or the argument, it's a lot harder, and quite often, even if you're talking to somebody and they're giving you their side of the story, you're hearing it but you're not listening. All right, meaning that you know, when they're giving you their side of the story, their view, you're kind of really just waiting for them to stop talking so you can then carry on talking and say something else. So you're not actually really listening. You're hearing it but you're not listening. And sometimes it's easy to do that, and sometimes people, you know, they don't communicate well enough that they are able to you know, allow the other person to see the other side. And a lot of the time, you know, what we've got to try and do is, when we don't necessarily agree with the other person, we've got to at least try and understand where they're coming from, and understand why they feel the way that they do, even if you don't agree. I think that's quite important, because, you know, sometimes when people are getting upset about things, we get upset that they're upset, but we need to kind of understand why they're upset, and then at least have empathy for that. And when you start doing that, I think that's a lot easier to kind of be more respectful towards a person, and that kind of makes a big difference. So that's basically it today. That's basically it. It's not a long video today. It's basically having respect for other people during a disagreement or an argument. You know, if you are going to respond, whether it be on a video like this, whether it be in written form on a social media platform, be respectful. Try and be respectful, and try and tell the person that you understand their view, and then explain why you understand their view and how you disagree with it. But, you know, obviously make the point that you do understand their view, and that you respect it, even though you don't agree with it. So, you know, that applies in relationships, husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, parent and child, you know, whether you're the parent or whether you're the child, with your boss and employee, whichever way around that might be, there's always you know, a chance to kind of see the other person's side in a disagreement, and we all have disagreements from time to time, and we can't avoid it. So instead of getting really upset and ranting and raving and then kind of then all falling out, and then, you know, getting a reputation for being that person who's always falling out with people, try and be the person who has a reputation for being a peacemaker. It doesn't mean you get walked over. It means you kind of, you're intelligent enough to be able to see the other side, have empathy for that person, understand their view, and then maybe explain why you think as you do, as opposed to shout and scream and you know, and really sort of like fall out with people all the time. And I think that way you get respect, regardless of whether people agree with you or not. I think people then at least respect you. So that's basically it today. That is my video. It's maybe not the most exciting video, but I think that's an important video, and I think that will help a lot of people, to be honest. So I'm going to leave that there, and I'll see you on another video. If you like what we're talking about, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. Cheers, everyone.